in pubs. You know, is he playing a support mid? Uh-oh, maybe it's the new mid laner, right? This kind of stuff, which I think is always really, really cool
I feel
to look
better
at in
already.
Dota. So we'll get underway with our first match. But for Limitless, of course, now recently joining the team as they do make their roster changes, their final roster changes before the TI qualifiers. I'm kind of just wondering what his role is here. Going to be on the Doom, right? Kunkka, you know, a viable Doom target, but Centaur quite tanky. Monkey King as well might be able to still fight through with Doom. Where do you see the strength of Doom in this game?
I think it's kind of giving them just an extra core. They're looking for this core that can hit some good item timings. Hold that thought, middle lane, they're brawling.
They are looking for some damage on the Wii. It'll make it up to the high ground though. Both teams with vision on dire side of the river.
But yeah, to go to Doom, I don't think he's got an easy place in this game, and I think that's something where Thunder Awaken drafted really well, because Doom was picked in the first phase, so they kind of picked all these heroes that aren't going to be too upset about getting Doom. Like, they've got 3 tanky strength cores, and I feel like Alliance, they've got the Lifestealer who kind of likes playing into tanky heroes, but other than that, I feel like Thunder Awaken have kind of gotten away with, you know, something that's usually considered exploitable.
And I think this is some mind games out from Dark Mago, who is, you know, pretending to walk uphill, like, I'm going to go check for that ward again. But of course, he has the ward already on high ground, so just trying to preserve his high ground ward, which is just going to work, by the way. Check out that, Desire.
Yeah.
I love seeing the little mind games there.
Yep. The sentry's just out of range, and Arrow's going to miss, but...
And Panda, he's going to pick up the
comes
sentry,
back in, yeah.
as well as the ward here. Are they going to hit it from low ground? It looks like they're ready for it. Ooh, Desire trying to go for the deny, but nice plays there by Matthew. They even decide not to hit it from low ground as well, so it's not totally certain that this ward is still here, by the way, for Thunder. We'll see if that ends up making any difference.
Yeah. Play the mind game where they don't quite know if it's warded or not. It is Alliance going for, at least initially, a tri-lane up top. We'll see if they stick with this one. I mean, Lifesteal can probably 1v1 just fine against the Centaur, but generally speaking, I feel like you want to secure his farm, and yeah, Ducalis on the Chen will be TPing down there.
And there's already the arrow combo as the hoof stomp connects. No rage here at level 1, so Sacred is able to at least get in a little bit of free damage onto Nico Baby. Yeah, so I thought maybe it was just a cheeky first blood attempt there, maybe with a cookie, but they've already taken Scatterblast at level 1. Panda already getting to work at harassing the Snapfire. And it's going to secure Makaz a couple of waves here at the least. Although Panda is losing this trade, as the Snap's got a little bit too much harass here at level 1.
Yeah, I don't think they really had the kill threat with a Chen, unfortunately, and like this lane up top, I feel like for Alliance is just kind of looking to farm as much as possible. Like, Doom's just kind of discreet here, but possibly a first blood here.
Really good
nice
tree cut.
tree chop.
Yeah. Nice play by Limitless there. Pretty easy to know where the Monkey King was. Obviously tried to charge up the Jingu for the max slow and cut off Desire, who was pulling the wave, but he skipped it successfully. That's going to allow Limitless at least one wave of farm here.
Saves his buddy. I think the big thing is making sure as a support, Panda needs to come in, make sure he's contesting these last hits a bit, or at least leeching the XP so it's not wasted XP on these, even on the denies.
Or maybe
they're going to come back and look to get this kill.
Yeah, Kaz has no mana for Boundless Strike, has Stick Charge, but doesn't even need it actually. With the movement slows that they've got between the Arctic Burn and the Primal Spring, they have the kill.
Yeah, now Monkey's able to get these creeps behind the tower, and Doom's forced to last hit under his top tier one, so not the best scenario for him to be in.
Yeah, especially because that
really great move.
That range creep ends up getting denied, right? Which really is I think going to be a stinger for Alliance. You go for the whole pull, you end up feeding First Blood, you still don't secure range creep. That can't feel amazing.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They'll be looking to maybe turn the tides more in their favor in some of these other lanes, because definitely the Monkey King lane, you've given up a First Blood now, very unlikely to go their way.
Very true. But for now, at least, while Panda's a bit shy on the mana, I think at least Limitless is going to be able to farm in some relative peace. His Desire was starting to go for a cookie. Over towards the mid lane, we do see Wee going for the Static Link build here against the Kunkka. You know, it's kind of interesting because the Kunkka is one of these heroes where, you know, he is a melee hero, but he defies a lot of logic in the melee hero matchups as far as mid lane goes. You know, he doesn't really play like a range, but he's like so much an exception to these rules.
Yeah, for every you think you can now harass him, but he's just
Yeah.
constantly getting these Tidebringers on you, and then he's got this X TP to base, so any harass you do is kind of negated because of this little trick. I imagine we goes back for max plasma field. I think the 2 points in static is fine because your damage drain almost doubles with that second point, so it's kind of a value point, the second, but after that, I think plasma field is like your better farming and your kill spell.
Yeah, I think you're completely right with that. As down bottom now, as we'll see, we eventually go into a farming build, and I imagine Dark Mago is just going to max cleave as normal. Down bottom, Ducalis has found a great creep here as well with the Chen. This is going to make the lane a lot easier for Nico Baby. It seems like they've sniped the creep eventually with an arrow, but even just having Frost Armor for a couple of waves or two is just free CS here, essentially. Centaur unable to do really any damage.
Yeah. Chen's doing a good job just keeping Moran away from this lane. As long as Lifesteal is kind of playing 1v1, he's going to be able to, completely sustain himself in this lane using the Feast. The only thing he's worried about is that Hoofstomp arrow combo. The right-click harass trades he is coming out on top of, and I think Centaur at least some slight issues, but with all that base health regen of Centaur, he's A-okay.
Oh, and here's plenty of attack speed, actually. A little stun up from the Mud Golem. Sacred's going to be forced to stomp it. Careful, though. He'll throw 2 more boulders at you. Here they come. Yep. Little shard golems. Yep. Full efficiency out from Ducalis.
Good damage, though. Problem is, it's Centaur, and he's got 24 health regen under his tower.
TP mid. Speaking of under towers, Wee's going to tank a tower shot. Arrow's going to swing wide, though, as Dark Mago looking for the cleave kill. They need a little bit more damage, and Matthew is there with the leap for the final arrow.
Yeah, I think this is something Wee's just this very aggressive mid player. Like, often he gets away with these plays and finds these solo kills, but gets punished top lane. Meanwhile, Pakaz, once again, they found the Snapfire. And they're not done. They want Limitless as well.
Might be able to get him. He's going to be forced to TP away. They, of course, have already used Boundless Strike for the kill onto Desire, but, I mean, that's a TP, at least only to Tier 1 for Limitless, but he's already not getting that much experience, guys. It's 28 and 12 here. 12 denies already for Pakaz.
Yeah, you're kind of picking Doom in the offlane just to be a farmer, and if you're having a tough lane, it kind of goes against what you're hoping to get out of this offlane Doom, because it's not this hero that can just make some plays come mid-game.
Uh-oh, they're even looking for another kill. Pakaz does have Boundless Strike, but with the Jingu active, seems like he's going to go instead for some harass onto Desire. Force him to use a little bit of regen. Now, bottom, though, is where Sacred does actually manage to get the Rage out. He's going to just TP away then in the face of Nico Baby, and we'll make it out alive.
Oh, mid lane, meanwhile, they've got the X combo.
They do onto the boat as well. Panda giving out some damage from the low ground. The move speed slow here as well onto Wee as Dark Mago gives chase. He's got another cleave in a second. The Torrent is going to force Wee the long way around as the cookie is good enough to increase the gap. Matthew leaping forward. Arrow just will swing wide. Wee had vision, I think, thanks to Plasma Field or something. He will be able to juke that one out and live this kill attempt in the mid lane.
Yeah, well played by Wee. Unfortunately for Dark Mago, when he went for the X boat, his Torrent was still on cooldown, so he didn't have that kind of follow-up stun, and Morano was a bit too far away for the arrow, so Razor surviving it, that's important, because Wee has game already not off to the best start after dying in that mid lane. But things can very quickly and easily recover for him. You're a Razor, you farm so fast with your ultimate plus Plasma Field, you can power farm the jungle, and you can just, farm it up, which is kind of what Alliance want to do. Like, Doom, Razor, Lifesteal is a big worry with their draft is who's making these plays.
Yep. And for now, not much of a play Ducalis can do here. He does at least block Ancients from being stacked a second time. He did scout a little mini stack going. This is always a kind of a win condition that Thunder like to enable, or a farm condition, really. Dark Mago farms up a couple big stacks. He gets an early BKB, and then again, this hero, just based off his spells with magic immunity, can really, really tear through some backliners.
Yeah, usually we've cast a lot of Thunder Awaken games here. It feels like Dark Mago just looks to get super aggressive early on, play around runes and early level timings more than item timings. Like his Mars was just running around pre-Blink Dagger finding kills. It does feel like his Kunkka this game is going to be a bit more farm heavy compared to what we've seen in other games.
Yeah, I'd agree there. I think this Alliance draft is going to give him the time to do so. I think perhaps on his tiny games yesterday, he may have felt a little bit more under the gun, a little bit more opportunistic. But this time around, with a Doom farming, with a Lifestealer who's going to slowly start to scale up, probably feels like he's got a little bit of time. Not really so active as we're perhaps used to seeing. That being said, he's through the jungle and into the middle lane, where Alliance are contesting the top power rune. He'll spawn top here, actually, and into the bottle of Wheeze, the DD rune. Dark Mago, though, with some moves speed slows at least, will avoid a death here. In fact, they're thinking about turning. This is Wee with 68 stolen damage, a DD rune, but Pakaz, that's not going to stop him, and in fact, they're going to stampede on forward with the Torrents. They even have the kill going towards Pakaz. Dark Mago looking for a +1 here, but Ducalis will at least escape through the trees. That is a big turn here from Thunder.
Yeah, I mean, they answer that, okay, maybe Dark Mago can't be, I mean, he is being very aggressive and getting involved, but they're making up for the fact that he's not playing this easy, and like level 1X isn't the best pass range to initiate with, so they bring in Pakaz, carry. He's just like, yeah, I'm a Monkey King, I'll use Boundless to rotate around early on. He was going for kills behind the top tier 1. He's rotating in for these rune fights. Like, he's just everywhere.
Yep, and speaking of rune fights, we're going to have a jungle fight now as there's the stun onto Ducalis. No arrow, but Nika Baby also joining. The rage doesn't allow him to ignore the torrent, but he quickly realizes he's got to bail from this fight, as the Chen army will also be slaughtered. Get out of there, Shard Golem. Oh, he lives!
Oh, and it will pay the price for sticking around a little bit too long, and see Dark Mago if he wants to go for this kill on Weeha.
Okay, it's going to be absorbed by Desire, though. Good positioning there for him to tank it. And Pakaz, yet again, showing up. Has no point in the Wukong's command, but he's going to jump in all the same onto Wee, who's got Eye of the Storm active. Sacred is melting here. Out comes the Wukong's command now as he has committed for the point. The stun on Nico Baby, but he just managed to get outside the circle, but it's not going to matter. They still have the kill there regardless. Wee, though, with 3 kills in this fight, maybe 4 now as he focuses onto Pakaz. There's going to be the link. Dark Mago doing what he can, but the cookie here is going to condemn him. Wee with the ultra kill might look for a rampage here. Pre-10 minutes with a TP out from Dark Mago. He just barely will miss out.
Pre-10-minute rampage almost happening. We did end up going back for max. He had Plasma at level 5, but then he went back and was like, screw it, I need life static link. We're fighting so often, and these melee heroes are just running and jumping on top of me. Like, he got so much value. He had like 80 stolen damage that fight with a constant minus armor from Eye of the Storm. And fights like this, you have to blow up this Razor. You know, great job soaking up the arrow so it didn't combo with the Torrent. Because once Weeha doesn't get chain stunned and bursted there, it's such a good fight for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, really bold move, I have to say, by Thunder to still try and take this fight with Eye of the Storm active. It's very akin to fighting into a DP Exo. And with no creeps around you to soak it up, no structures to TP back to. It's you're committing. Once you're in, you're in. And that was a very favorable fight for Alliance. Wee's game, I would say, has been perfectly recovered. He's 3rd now in net worth, just behind the Lifestealer.
Yeah, Thunder had a bit of a lead that was growing. It was like, what, 5 kills to nothing. Those were Alliances. They had 0 kills before that ultra kill on Razor.
They're all his.
They were down like 2K, maybe even close to 3K gold. So a big, big turnaround. They're following up with some tower pressure. They're going to take this top tier 1 tower. And for Thunder, I think they're looking a little bit rattled. They've gone back to, you know, farming up their ancients. This is what I feel like they should have been doing instead of taking that, you know, slightly unnecessary fight. But they're a team that's found so much success with constant fighting.
Yeah, and now they've even managed to force a couple of ultis. Stampede and Moonlight Shadow here. Limitless still sticking around, wants to defend the tower, but they will open up onto him now. Has the Doom if he wants to try and use it. Oh, the Hurricane's onto a creep, unfortunately, so he will be condemned. The boat of Dark Mago will heal all him. It is going to be Pakaz picking up the tower as a result.
Yeah, both teams kind of mirroring each other, making moves on the enemy kind of safe lane tower, but Doom, as a core particularly, shouldn't be sticking around trying to defend the tower when Thunder have their eyes on that bottom tier 1.
Yep. And this comes back to kind of the question mark, really, I think, posed by the early game, right? The laning stage, and especially the draft from Alliance first phasing this Doom. Thunder have played and picked well around it so far. Limitless still trying to find really how he can have the best impact in this game. Seems like Hand of Midas here about to be completed. After that, the items should come on filtering through.
Yeah, that'll, you know, kind of get him towards that BKB blink, but it does feel like he's in for a rough one and going to be looking at a pretty late BKB timing.
I'd agree.
And
for now, though, he's joining the smoke gank. Oh, it's going to be broken by Panda, though, and again, no blink early, going for first item Midas, so they're going to have to find a different target. Luckily, Pakaz is showing bottom. Could maybe be a good target here. I think
He sees them coming, right? They popped on the ward.
Yeah.
Let's say he was just trying to get one last creep or two. He also saw them drop the sentry because they had the observer plus. Oh, actually, maybe not. The sentry was behind the tree, so he may have missed that one. But he did see the Doom on the ward.
Yeah, clutch play there by Panda, just simply breaking a smoke. You never really know what some clever positioning will do. He was probably covering someone in the triangle as he does continue to stack up these Ancients, which Dark Mago has been farming relentlessly. And it's not actually BKB first item. He did have it queued up. He even had an Ogre Axe Gods, but he's instead going for the Heaven's Halberd first.
Yeah, I like this a lot better, honestly. It's like, who are you buying the BKB even for this game? And it's really just Snapfire. I think he kind of, maybe whether he just looked at the enemy team himself and was like, wait a second, this BKB actually isn't that useful. I think it's still worth probably eventually getting one, but you can really delay it and go for these other more immediately impactful items. Like, deal with the physical damage that Razor brings to the table, the disarm from Halberd, the evasion, the AC he's got queued up. Like, it's really going to be a lot of physical damage coming from the Alliance side.
Very true. Yep, and they've got plenty of sustain to back it up here with the Chen having Mechanism completed and Mech buffed as well. We still haven't seen a Hand of God, but we might need one here now as the Blink initiation. Perfect onto Wee. There comes the Hand of God and now the Mechanism in order, but the Winter's Curse to follow up. Nico Baby showing up, slaughtering his core. Wee is going to fall there. Panda getting the kill with the Splinter Blast. Dark Mago maybe even looking for more. They make the jump onto Ducalis, who's used all of the heals. Pakaz even showing up there to claim the kill. Nico Baby stunned up the once, but still has the Rage. And the Infest if he needs to get out of this one. A great cookie onto 2, sets up for the Doom, and even now a hoof stomp out from Doom, but the heals are still here. Pakaz, can he make it out of this one alive? No. Right. Nico Baby has the Infest damage for the kill, and that'll be a tier 1 tower defended for Alliance.
Yeah. Good job punishing the Pakaz aggression under the tower there. Great cookie. Desire is kind of the one who really sets up that kill, but still a fight that Alliance aren't going to be thrilled about. Losing Razor to start things off, getting the follow-up kill on the Chen, and it does feel like Thunder now just have so much kill threat with this Blink Dagger. That's what they were kind of waiting for. That's why they slowed things down. There's obviously items they were waiting for on their other cores, but the Centaur Blink's the one that enables them to make these big plays.
Absolutely, and I have to really commend Limitless there for his first Doom. Very impactful. I think little known, little much forgotten fact about Doom is that it does dispel. You can dispel those Jingu, the Jingu Mastery active as soon as it's on, so no chance for Pakaz to lifesteal through that, as that's going to be an easy kill onto Desire and his Courier.
He's using this Centaur Morano combo effectively. Matthew's already got himself a Vlad's now. Doesn't actually have the Wraith Pack queued up, interestingly.
Yeah, I mean, with I think it was only like a 50 cast range and a 1-second cooldown buff to Force Staff, but Lacoste has been very vocal whenever I produce for him on saying this is already the best item in Dota 2. Why did they buff it more? Well, we'll see if Matthew can show us. Certainly a strong item to have versus a Razor and a Lifestealer.
Yeah. And the Vlad's is a much better team fighting item. I mean, and that's usually why you buy Vlad's to team fight. It's not the lifesteal farming item.
Speaking of team fighting, I might have kicked one off here. The tower falls though, but they cut the tree of Pakaz. Stampede, but he's not going anywhere for 3 more seconds. Does manage to turn here potentially with the Winter's Curse as the Wukong's command is going to be set up. Cookie not on the market. Sacred with a 3-man hoof stomp into the arrow as well. Wee finally gets off the static link on the Dark Mago, but he's already lost the Doom. Luckily, at least it looks like Nico Baby's been able to infest inside of him. So Thunder unable to pick up a kill onto the cores, at least positions 1 and 2. Tower still falls, so they got what they came for. But a little skirmish here, again, held off by some good spell casting from Alliance.
Yeah, they've got eyes on Thunder with their Cliff Ward, so we'll see if Thunder catch wind of that one. Yeah, there we go. They're going to get the D-Ward off, but unable to get any follow-up kills because of that good vision from Alliance. But still another kind of pick-off from Thunder where they committed a lot of spells. That was most of their ultimates just to get that one kill, but they get out of there without any casualties, so I think they'll be pretty happy with the overall outcome.
Yep. And as far as the pace of the game, ever since that 9-10 minute ultra kill that we had, they've only gotten 1 kill since. The net worth lead still buddying here in favor of Thunder, now up to 6K. The Doom, again, still stabilizing very nicely, nearly at this BKB. Nico Baby staying alive crucially in these fights as well, as he is going to be going for the S and Y, and then open wounds eventually is going to really help him sustain. What do you think Alliance is, like, when's their go time here? When do they feel like they've got a better control of this game? Because for now it has seemed like Thunder has been more or less dictating the pace.
Yeah, I think most obvious answer is just going to be this double BKB. As we find a pick off up top, just a Chen kill, but having Lifesteal, Razor, and Doom all with Magic Muni, like Rage for the Lifesteal and BKBs on the other two, well, that'll give Alliance the team fight they need. They're not going to get comboed by a Kunkka.
Speaking of the combo, E is going to fall in the mid lane. Just an opportunistic moment there for Dark Malgo. No support scouted, so he is going to fall. Nice job there as well. I mean, they turn what is just a kind of meaningless... I mean, we did just both call it just a Chen kill, and I agree with that. But not having Hand of God, not having the mechanism nearby to maybe turn that into a fight or at least save the Razor, there's some heads-up plays there from Thunder.
And these kills have just given Thunder all this confidence. They can just walk top, they walk through the enemy triangle area. They're just taking over whichever parts of the map they feel like they want. Because they know there's just not enough kill threat in Alliance. Alliance are looking to farm these BKBs. Like, they can't really do anything until they finish them. Their team fight is just pretty lacking, and that's going to be the big test, is how Thunder kind of respond to them. They have got the Winter's Curse as one way of kind of disabling like a BKB target, but for the most part, I think Thunder are just going to have to use the Stampede to kind of like kite the BKBs and disengage and then re-engage when BKBs wear off.
Yeah, and even when it does come to those BKB times, like you're saying, I mean, yesterday Sacred used the Stampede very effectively versus a Phoenix of Entity. It was even a core Phoenix. It was Toby's Phoenix. And he really did a good job just kind of waiting for the right moments and then re-engaging as soon as the Sunray Supernova, was not available any longer. With the lack of control that Alliance have, I feel like that we could kind of see a repeat of that, you know?
That's a really good point. Like, their only real lockdown is this Snapfire Cookie, which is not a reliable stun. So you try charge in with your BKBs, it's not going to likely lead to kills.
No. Now, Limitless is...
Dude, he's so close to his.
He is. He's got War Stomp. Sacred looking to give him a stomp of his own, but good 4-steps out. And the Cookie is going to prevent a death there. I believe that's BKB for Wii. Yes, now being fetched to him now on the Courier. Thunder, though, they're going to look to disengage, maybe look for a different angle. I think they've caught in wind of Nico Baby. Tried to catch him with an arrow there on the small camp. Sacred as well, approaching from the river. Says, don't you dare touch my cousin. Nico Baby dares. And Sacred's going to let him
Next
have
time, don't you dare try that again.
Pretty much.
And Doom's out there eating them. He's devouring them. Lifesteal is chomping down on some.
Infest exploding, though. I mean, the absolute disrespect right now to Centaurs. This man, once he gets his cart, oh boy, just you wait.
I hope we see it. It's got to happen. Surely one of these games. What's the combo this game with it? I feel like we're going to be saying it. With 3 melee cores, I don't know if there is a combo.
I'm not so sure either. I could see a very gladiator arena style. Monkey King sets up the Wukong's command. You throw him inside the cart, drive him around his own arena with extra attack range on melee heroes. Who knows?
Style points, I think.
Yeah. For now, though, it is up to Alliance, who are going to be making their first very aggressive move. Into the enemy triangle they go. Smokes break. Wheat does catch a glimpse of Pakaz, but he's going to Primal Spring away. And with all that mobility, all of a sudden, Alliance not feeling... Well, actually, they're holding this ward cliff. So they're in a pretty...
Yeah, they should. I mean... No, this is like they've just finished these BKBs. The problem is they really need Thunder to come and fight them because, like, they 5-man smoke and, like, how do they start this fight? Razor's leading the way, which isn't to fault Weeha. It's like, who can lead the way? You're hoping that your frontline hero, like, he scouts with Plasma and then you get a cookie stun or something. But that's a big if, and that's just not a very clean way to start a fight.
And I do think that this gets better once Limitless has his Blink Dagger. I think he can kind of be the frontliner with Wii, or the initiation, rather, that Wii is kind of lacking. Because as we see, especially for a Monkey King, it's rather easy for him to simply just jump away. And he's very mobile and already, you know, into the top wave he goes from the Roche Pit, Aegis in hands, or in paws, I suppose, for the Monkey.
It's
arrow
gonna make him doom-proof. So
Sacred Blink in
trying
5
to bait out
seconds.
BKB here.
Yeah, they'd really like to do
love
that.
to force it,
and they will. Infest as well used.
Yeah.
So we might just go for it here, but there's still a Stampede ready, Parker. I don't know how they take this fight. In fact, they're gonna use it aggressively. His BKB has ended. They're gonna kill him, and out comes Nico Baby like a Kinder Egg, and he's just dead immediately as well.
Oh, disaster. That's, I don't know, there's just a bit of miscommunication. I think you just got to BKB and run there, or you infest and don't BKB. They're not done. They're just diving the base now.
Tier 2 is still up. Limitless, he even uses BKB.
another
Might
BKB
find a Doom,
force.
but there's an Aegis on Monkey King. Kiss is coming down. Maybe Sacred is going to take a death here, but the
out of
Kiss
mana.
is aiming for Pakaz, and he just full heals off the camp.
boundless.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
What a great play from Pakaz. And yeah, Doom didn't have the mana to Doom. I don't think there was really a great target for him since the Aegis was still in play. And they see this Doom top. They're like, hey, you're going to some creeps here? We'll come find you. We'll hunt you down.
And without BKB, Limitless does feel really vulnerable, and he's scouted even.
Oh,
Pakaz
seen
is going to look for this one, gives the vision for Dark Mago, cuts him off with the X-Mark Torrent combo. Ducal is stunned up as well, and Sacred immediately going to kill off Ducal as he literally just respawns, sent back to the waiting screen. As they say in SA, when you're killed time and time again, they send you back to Facebook.
In the base, meanwhile. Oh, never mind. The old tab on out.
Yeah, the alt tab says go back to Facebook, is as they say. Back when Necro Ags would disable buyback, that was a hot meme.
Pakaz's got this kill, by the way. We high in the jungle, solo kill. All right.
Wow.
That just finds him farming there, and it's like, okay, I'll take this one. Alliance just look defeated here. They've just fallen apart. Any sense of kind of like they had that 5-man smoke, and then after that, it's just things aren't
They
working.
still have a hope stop here. Maybe another kill on a Nico baby. Luckily, Hand of God as they will buy back on Weehaw. Wukong's command is out. Underneath tier 4s is Pakaz. But they are going to turn back and refocus their efforts here. Of course, a new mechanic. Once you lose your first tier 3, you get another 4 to 5. This might be another opening here now as Wheat is going to be held back in place with the Winter's Curse. Not a full duration, though. No creeps around, no heroes, but the counter initiation again as the BKB wears off. Out comes Nico Baby a bit earlier this time, but they're on to Limitless. They're on to Wee. They've killed off both. Ducalis as well. Nico Baby can't even get back into his own fountain here because he's going to be X-marked, disarmed. They are not going to let him lifesteal, but he phase boots through the enemy heroes who are taking tower or fountain shots already. They might have the kill here as into the arrow from the X-Mark. Dark Mago on a dominating streak, and Alliance dying steps away from their fountain here in Game 1 versus Thunder.
They're just kind of getting styled on at this point. And we see the big issue, like, their timing is these BKBs, but there's no way to force a fight with the BKBs. Every time they try and use BKBs, Thunder Awaken just back off. Or Thunder Awaken baits out a bad BKB usage. Kunkka, honestly, like, yeah, you need BKB against Kunkka, but Kunkka's great at basically forcing these bad BKB usages. And yeah, Alliance, no, there's just nothing they can do now.
It did really felt like it came down to that issue, right, where there was just a lack of control. Unfortunately, you know, when you end up picking a Chen, you do have to be mindful about your initiation that you have on your mid laner and your off laner, even some stuns or lockdown on your others.